Good day, everybody. My name is Wendy Mather. I'm co-manager of the camp. Today I'm joined here with Keon Nixed, co-manager of the camp, and the director of the camp, Dr. Alina Nino. We are here in honor of Mary Andre's master capstone presentation with the camp. Mary has been diligently working this capstone presentation since August of 2022. And we would like to share what Mary has been working on behind the scenes, because we also want to extend an invitation to you. If you plan to do your capstone with the camp, perhaps you might want to consider this track. Mary, please share with us what you've been up to over the past couple of years. Welcome.
Thank you, Wendy. So a little bit about me. Anyway, I've been beekeeping for quite a while. I've lived in Houston, Modesto, and Walnut Creek. I've kept bees there. And I'm a hobbyist beekeeper. I like to play around. So I have a couple of Langstroths, a horizontal Langstroth, top bar, observation hive, and nooks. That's kind of my standard setup. And I started my beekeeping at Davis. I took a class from Norm Gary on honeybees and started working for him under Sue Kobe at the lab, but bee biology. And I've been a member of WAS and Mount Diablo Beekeepers. And I'm a Beekeeper of the Year, oh boy, for MDBA, and I coordinate the annual package bee purchase for the club. And then recently, after Jackie Kildare was developing her basic beekeeping classes for the club, I have been helping her teach those. Not so much this year, but I was doing that last year quite a bit. And so my capstone project was when I started the Master Beekeeping program. It was kind of during COVID time, or right, in that. And so when I was looking at the slides, what it seemed to me is that the slides were for the in-person presentation, but we were missing the in-person part. And so studying from the slides was challenging. And so I was interested in bringing that slide aspect of the program so that it would be full enough to stand alone without a presenter. And so that's what I have been working on. And so the apprentice and the journey level study guides have been updated. Well, that was what I was working on. And with the apprentice level emphasizing the practical aspects of beekeeping, and the journey level addressing the more in depth on honeybees, advanced beekeeping practices, more use of bee products, the laws, California laws, and basic understanding of native bees. So the content of the curriculum is, the basics are all the same, I think. That was my guideline, it's just whatever had been there before. And the study guides now include quite a bit of links so that if people want, they can see why we say what we say. And if they want more in-depth understanding of topics, they can click on these links. And the revised study guides have been published on the camp website. So this has been, for me, about a 2-year thing, because I started it in my brain before I started it officially. And for the last, I guess, since August, Wendy and I have met pretty much on a weekly basis to make sure that what I'm working on is in keeping with camp goals and what camp wants to do. And so far, we do have a small peer review by camp instructors, and that keeps going. And then also taking feedback from students. I lead one of the journey level study groups. And so it is a request. Please, anything in the study guide that either is hard to understand, doesn't make sense, looks wrong, please bring that up. And, Pete Critcher, he does the apprentice level. So there's the same call out to him. Please let me know if you see things in here that are either difficult for students or just don't seem right. So keeping it up. So some of the next steps for the curriculum are annual reviews to make sure the links are still working, because the more links you have, the more homework you have to do to keep them up. And then update the curriculum as new research findings become available, and keeping the curriculum relevant for current beekeeping practices in California. For example, right now, the Varomorpha nosema section is still quite focused on nosema, but perhaps as we move forward, we might want to have that be what you see under a cell counting slide. So that section would still be relevant, but we would expand beyond maybe just nosema to the other things you see, since nosema is not as actively treated as it was when it was Nosema apis. So that's kind of just thoughts in my head versus on paper. And some additional steps is to make sure that the exams match up with the curriculum and formulate the questions so they can be machine graded, so students can get results really quickly on what they got right and what they got wrong. We also want to be able to make more practice exams and to allow there to be more than one version of the final exam. And so one of the ideas is with a lot more questions, that would be very doable. And then also creating study group facilitator packages so that more people could be comfortable facilitating study groups across California, and that we deliver a constant message. Because right now, for me, it's like I feel like I'm kind of doing this a little bit in isolation with my study group, maybe that's just me. And I know that's being worked on. I know that CAMP is addressing a place for instructors to go to get updated material on their presentations, so that, again, we are consistent across all the different ways we present beekeeping information. And then our challenge is to keep this curriculum up to date versus with student feedback and curriculum review committees. And that was just the proposal I had written. Any questions on that? What do you think?
So this is the proposal you submitted to reflect what your capstone has been over just a little bit, well, 2 years, really. As you said, you were thinking about it much way before you actually jumped in and decided to go for it. It's, first of all, I'll say it's been an honor to work with you. Secondly, it is your orderliness and your ability to select what change needs to happen and prioritize that change is really helpful for this process. And as I mentioned at the top, if there is anyone else within the camp who enjoys this type of work and who would like to do this as their capstone, there is room for them. Yes. So and on that note, Mary, we're grateful, as I mentioned, and we are honored to welcome you to the camp as a master beekeeper. Thank you.
Thank you.